All right, welcome everybody. This is Joan from Premier Destiny. I trust that you all, especially those in the United States, had a fantastic Thanksgiving last week, and we're all doing great. So, welcome once more to our Q&A session. All right. Paul is not going to be joining us today, so it'll be just me, and we'll have a great question to respond to today. So just keep the excitement going and listen carefully, because what I'm about to share today can really be the game changer for you. All right. So we typically take questions, respond to questions on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the questions come to us from pretty much anyone, our followers, our viewers, um, who just need some clarification or have a question or two. All right. They come to us through email at support@premierdestiny.com, or on social media, or you can hop up on our website where you see how to contact us and submit your question. Okay, before I go into today's question, which is a very interesting one, I'd just like to share a little bit about us. Paul and I are transformation experts. We guide ambitious professionals, business owners, aspiring business owners to go from the ordinary to the extraordinary. And why do we do that? We do that because we believe the universe is abundant. Life is great. Everyone has the potential to go from the extraordinary, to go from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Okay, we believe that everyone deserves to be prosperous, to be successful, and have fun while doing that. Okay, so today's question is from Sandy. And Sandy is, let's see, she's in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. Her question is, she starts with a comment, right? She says, they say every cloud has a silver lining. Let me read this to make sure I get it right. They say every cloud has a silver lining. How can I turn setbacks into comebacks? How can I become an overcomer? Okay. I don't know what Sandy is dealing with. She just sent in that question. So I'm going to do my best to respond to Sandy's question. But before I do, welcome again, all of you just joining now. It's so glad to see you join us on this live session. I'm sure all of us here and so many others have faced challenges in their lives. Wouldn't you agree? We've all faced setbacks, challenges, adversities, um, at one point or the other in our life. But it's how we handle those setbacks that will help us be, make them or change them to comebacks. And then we become the overcomers that we are very, very capable of becoming. Okay. So, like I said, we all have the potential to overcome any setback and turn it around. I remember while reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read that book, please do yourself a huge favor and grab a copy of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He mentions in the book that every adversity has the seed, or it comes with the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Every adversity comes with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That is so profound. That is so profound. If you really believe that, I hope you do, then maybe we don't need to continue this session, right? No, I'm just kidding. But that is the truth. Every negative situation has a positive side to it. I guess that is because of the law of polarity. There are opposite ends to everything. There's a tall, there's a short, there's a dark, there's a light, there's night, there's day, there's you name it. Everything has an opposite. So every adversity should have something positive about it. Okay, so let's look at the question that Sandy has sent. Sometimes those comebacks are so, they are major, they are huge, they seem to be insurmountable, right? We just want to give up. Yet, it's during such moments that the true spirit of an overcomer emerges. When those challenges or those setbacks are so huge, you can't comprehend, you can't even begin to fathom how to deal with them. They seem to be insurmountable. You can't just handle them. That is when the true spirit of an overcomer emerges. This is where your determination, right? Your determination, your resilience, your grit, you name it, they're all put to the test. How do you deal with this setback? How do you deal with this challenge? It's true. They say, as Sandy mentioned in her question, every cloud has a silver lining. So today I'm going to do my best to bring out that silver lining. How you go about bringing out that silver lining is that comes with that adversity, that comes with that setback. Okay, we know of many iconic individuals, major successful, movie stars, you name it, business owners, entrepreneurs, you name it, all from all walks of life, who have overcome major setbacks and are the talk of the century, the talk of the day. We look up to them. We see the success that they have today, but how did they go about overcoming the setbacks that they face, right? We have been in business for over 21 years now, and we have, believe me, we have experienced our own share of setbacks, our own share of challenges. But you know what? Because of those experiences, the success that we've been able to accomplish over this time, we have come to believe that every um, challenge truly has a positive side to it. And we believe that everything works for our good, works out for our good. Okay. So I hope I've prepped your mind to know where I'm going with this, with my response here today. So, one of the first things we need to do, or one of the first strategies I'm sharing with you today, is to embrace or to harness the power of your mindset. Harness the power of your mindset. Your mind is very powerful. It's not just to help you set that strategy to be able to be successful in whatever you want to do, whatever your endeavor is. The power of your mindset, it determines your attitude. Okay. Learn to develop a positive and a growth mindset. It will help you see things differently. It's Dr. Wendaya who said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you change the way you look at a setback, that setback could go from a setback to a comeback. It could go from a detriment to an advantage, or from a disadvantage to an advantage. Your mindset is key. Our mindset influences how we perceive those setbacks, how we respond to them. If you have a positive mindset, you'll be able to take the time and appreciate that setback. I know this may sound strange that you are appreciating a setback. You have the ability to believe in your ability to learn from it. See what lessons it's teaching you. Okay. You have two options. Say you're faced with a setback. You can accept it as a setback, throw up your hands and say, throw in the towel and say, I give up. Or if you have a positive mindset, you have a growth mindset, you say, okay, roll up your sleeves and tackle it head on. So It's your choice. But that choice depends on your mindset, which has been formed from your belief system, growing up, going to school, what you watch, what you read, and so forth. So I really want to start there to say embrace a positive and a growth mindset. Okay. If you have someone who has a fixed mindset, they only see limitations, they only see how they can do this, how they can accomplish this. On the other hand, somebody with a growth mindset will figure out how to make it work. They will not dwell on the how things are not going to work. They're going to dwell on how things can work, the possibility side of things. Okay. Take, for example, the story of Michael Jordan. I understood that he was I think when he was in high school, he was cut out of the basketball team. He did not give up. He's one of the most successful. I mean, he's a legend. He's a basketball legend. If he had a negative mindset, um, you know, and just say, okay, I'm not called to do this, or this is not for me, would not have known of the Michael Jordan we know of today. In thinking of what to respond to Sandy, I thought of Michael Jordan, and I know there was a quote, there was something that he said, so I looked it up and I want to read it to you, okay, to help you see his mindset. He said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots. Listen to this, 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. Who will keep going? Who would keep going except someone with a growth mindset, a positive mindset, an overcomer mindset, with a success mindset? Who would keep going after that? He went further to say, 26 times I've been trusted to take the game winning shot and missed. 26 times. You know, I'm not, a basketball player. I don't know all the rules, but there are some critical moments when they get the best player, right, to take that shot. And he has missed them 26 times. But again, he said, I've failed over and over and over again in my life. But listen to this, he said, and that is why I succeed. That is why I succeed. That is his mindset. He doesn't see failure as a roadblock or whatever is going to stop him. No, he keeps on going. So with the right mindset, we can turn any setback to a comeback. So try to cultivate a growth, a positive success mindset. By controlling our mindset, we can control our destiny. That power is within us, folks. The power to become overcomers is within us, and it starts with the mindset, adopting the right mindset. We also have to be resilient. Okay, they say stick to itness. You have to stick to it, no matter what. You stick to it. You know, one of our mentors said, there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something and things don't go right, you can easily give up. But when you're committed to something, you find every reason to keep going. You don't give up in the midst of a challenge or a setback. You're resilient. You just bounce back. You have that ability to bounce back and keep going. It's one of those vital components. I know I've just started and talked about mindset, but you have to be very resilient. Those setbacks are there. They're going to come. We cannot deceive ourselves. We cannot fool ourselves or lie to ourselves that there'll be no setbacks. No, they're going to be there because we don't control everything. We don't control the economy. We don't control the weather. If you're a farmer and it's a strong winter, a bad winter, your crops are going to get bad, right? So those setbacks are going to be there. Those are external setbacks that may happen. We ourselves could come with some setbacks, right? So we just have to be able to bounce back when those setbacks come, all right? In the face of adversity, and just keep going. We had I mean, this lady, what's her name now? J.K. Rowling's, the author of the Harry Potter series. How she tried so many publishers, and they turned her down. But she just kept pushing. She was very resilient. She remained resilient until the door was finally opened for her. All right. How about Colonel Sanders? I'm not going to say we all, because some of you are watching from different parts of the world and you may not know what Kentucky Fried Chicken is, famously referred to as KFC. He started this venture at the age of 60. You know, he got countless rejections, but he kept going on. He just kept pushing. He was very resilient, right? So if you have the dream, don't pay attention to the no, just keep going. Just keep going. Remain resilient. Another very vital component is persistence. Persistence pays off, folks. It pays off. Keep moving, just like resilience, right? But you are persistent. It doesn't matter whether the progress is slow, whether there are challenges, you know. They've said persistence outlasts setbacks. If you persist, you will succeed, no matter the setback, because persistence can outlast setbacks and lead to remarkable comebacks. Okay. Um, there was a quote that I saw some time ago. It was by Jim Watkins. I don't really know who he is, but he said, a river is able to cut through a stone or rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. That is huge. A river is able to cut through a rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. It just keeps going at it, just keeps going at it. And eventually, the rock gives way. So, no matter the setbacks that we face, we have to persist. We have to persist. Steve Jobs, he was ousted from Apple, but he returned and he revamped their product line and gave birth to the iPods and the iPhones and the iPads. He could have given up too. Okay. We persevere. Sometimes the road to success is not easy. Sometimes you have to, just like I said earlier, roll up your sleeves, and sometimes there are sleepless nights. Sometimes the road is tough. It looks like you're not gonna get there. You just have to persevere. You just have to keep going at it. Keep going at it. They talk of Walt Disney. They said many times, he almost went bankrupt, right? Developing Disney World. But look at what Disney World is today, known all over the world. Okay. So let's look. I'm sharing some examples here for us to inspire us to say a setback or challenge is not the end of it. Okay. Another thing we need to do to help us go from setbacks to comebacks and eventually become overcomers is to learn from the setback. I shared a story because someone maybe 2 months ago or so asked a question about failure and how they could overcome failure in their business, something along those lines. And I gave the example of a man who had a coffee shop, and his business was great. He was doing well, but some reason, a major coffee house set up shop next to him. So he started losing business. But he didn't let that stop him. That was a major setback, right? To have a big competitor literally next to you. And this was a small business owner, small coffee shop. So he decided to learn from that. He started looking at his business differently. He started focusing, he created a new niche for his coffee shop as a local coffee shop. Started inviting local musicians to play, familiar um, music to the audience, to his clientele. Before you knew it, he had a booming business because he recognized that he had to learn from that experience. He had to see how to reposition his business to survive. Okay. Setbacks, I think I mentioned once that setbacks are setups in disguise. Setbacks are setups in disguise. They are stepping stones to that success that we want to achieve. Okay. But we have to learn from them. What are we going to learn? How are we going to learn from this setback? We need to take a step back. Okay. Rethink. Go back to the drawing board. Break down the process. Look at what went wrong. Try to analyze it. Break it down. Investigate. You may need the help of a consultant to help you. See what went wrong precisely. Because if you cannot identify what went wrong, you're not going to be able to learn from the experience and then find the right approach, the right strategy to help you overcome that setback. Okay. So when you have a setback, take a step back and you experience a comeback. Okay. When you experience a setback, take a step back and you experience a comeback. When you take that step back, you're going back and peeling the layers of the onion. You're trying to revisit, trying to play back in your mind, in your head, what went wrong at every stage and extract the lessons from them. Okay. Begin by taking an objective look because many times um, we tend to blame it on somebody else, right? We're pointing one finger, but four are pointing back at us. We tend to excuse the setback. Be objective the best you can. Okay. Look at it, put away any emotions. I know that may be difficult for some. It's been for us too sometimes. You get so overwhelmed, you become so emotional, you can't think straight. Take a step back. Put on your thinking cap. Be as objective as you can. Wherever it was your fault, write it down so that you know how to proceed next time. Okay, or going forward. Okay, excuse me. So, what else can you do to help you change that setback to a comeback? What else can you do? You can make sure that you set the right goals. I wrote an article for Forbes, which is on Forbes.com. You can check it out. It was about tenacious, being able to hold onto your goals in spite of adversity or challenges, whatever they may be. It's a good one. I suggest you check it out on Forbes.com. But what am I saying here? You have to be able to set clear goals for yourselves. These goals don't just have to be attainable, they have to be challenging as well. In the article, I talk about that because sometimes you want to succeed, right? So you set your goal, a low bar for that goal. So when you achieve it, you're happy and all of that. That's fine, no problem with that. But when you set goals that are not just achievable, they are challenging as well. Okay. You learn from the challenges and you grow. Okay. When you have a clear goal, you have it well defined. We also have a tool on our website. So when you go to premierdestiny.com and you on the home page, you scroll all the way down, you are able to enter your email and download some tools that we have. One of them is goal setting and accountability. And we tell you how to set goals so that you can achieve them, right? Those goals have to be SMART goals, as I say. They have to be specific, they have to be measurable, accountable, all of that. So when you set your goals, make sure that they are all of that and keep to them as much as possible. Of course, I'm not saying you should be totally rigid, because sometimes you may have to change course to stay afloat, to stay, on the course of whatever your endeavor is. Okay, but try as much as possible to look at your goals periodically also, and see if you're going in the right directions, if those goals that you set still are appropriate for your current circumstances. Okay, so like I said, don't just settle for the low hanging fruit, you know um by staying in your comfort zone. Try to stretch yourself. Okay, that's where you are able to exercise that resilience and grit when the challenges come. Okay, all right, and then you'll be able to become an overcomer. Let's see, what else can we share with you today? It's Let me put it this way: you have to learn to embrace challenges. I know that may sound crazy to some people, like, why embrace challenges? Why embrace setbacks? You have to learn to embrace setbacks, because every setback is an opportunity in disguise. It is an opportunity in disguise. Just accept it, folks. When you start looking at setbacks in that light, you'll be able to embrace them, because they're only going to make you stronger. Okay, and then when you're setting your next goal, you're setting even bigger goals. See goals, stretch goals for yourself. Let me share an experience Paul and I had several years ago. We Just to illustrate the point, to demonstrate the point about overcoming setbacks and embracing setbacks, right? The power of embracing setbacks. We decided to embark on a business venture with some like-minded, individuals. They were ambitious professionals. They were friends, as a matter of fact. And we were so excited. We were incredibly passionate about it, because we saw all the possibilities. We're like, okay, all these heads are coming together. This is going to be a huge success. But guess what? It wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But maybe fortunately, right? If we look at it, that it has the potential of an equal or greater benefit, could be either way. Okay, so things didn't work out the way we expected. To the best of our efforts, we lost lots of money. We were devastated. For a time, though, we saw this as a setback to our personal lives, because we're blaming ourselves, right? We became very emotional. We started blaming ourselves. Okay, we shouldn't have done this, we shouldn't have done that. But we didn't let that defeat define us. That's the key here. We embraced that setback. We didn't let it define us. We didn't let it stop us. Instead, we took the time. We stepped back. We took the time to reflect on what the setback was, what we experienced, to learn from our mistakes. And today we have several very successful businesses, very successful business ventures. Okay. Those were times when, you could have said, okay, forget it. I'm not going to pursue, I'm not even going to do business anymore. Maybe I should just get a 9 to 5 job. Nothing wrong with that. But if that's not where you headed, you were headed in the first place, if that wasn't your goal, why change because of a setback? Okay, we did not. We did not. So we use that to instead propel us, because that's the mindset we have. It propelled us to engage in even more business ventures. more successful business ventures. Another strategy I'm going to share with you here today is you have to be able to learn to pivot. I know I talked about setting goals, and those goals should not be written in stone. Your strategy should not be written in stone, right? There are times when you're going to have to need to change a little bit. You need to pivot. You need to re-strategize. Learn to adapt and strategize. I was looking for a good example to share with you all today, and I came across Nokia. Many of us never knew. I didn't know. I shouldn't say many of us. I didn't know that Nokia, which is a company is based in Finland, started out as a manufacturer of rubber boots. Who could have imagined? Way back, I think in the 1850s or something like that, they started out manufacturing rubber boots and then changed their strategy to manufacture um, phones. They went into telecommunication. But what happened when Apple and the Samsungs of the world came up? They couldn't cope up. They couldn't cope. They couldn't stand their competition. They couldn't. There was the new technology that came to give us the Androids of the world, to give us the iPhones, the smartphones. So they decided to sell that venture. They sold the venture, and I think it was in 2013. They sold it to Microsoft. Guess for how much? $7.2 billion. But what did they do? They pivoted. They changed their strategy. They shifted to providing the technology that now supports those um, phone systems, right? They went into 5G. They went into 5G, and now they are hugely successful. They are a hugely successful telecommunication company. All right. Netflix is another one. It's a very popular, many people watch movies now on Netflix. Netflix started out by renting DVDs, but now they stream movies. Okay, so we have to learn to pivot, change our strategy. We also need to have a good support system. Oh, I see someone has been leaving so many comments here. Oops, let's see. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. Yes, we have to expect to be open to adjustments, right? Thank you so much, Jacqueline. We have to have a strong support system. When we have a strong support system, let it not just be there. I know sometimes people may shy away from reaching out to their family, friends, or coach, even, or mentor, or CPA, whatever your support system is. Lean on that support system. That's why you have them, right? Don't be shy, because you may shy yourself to a disaster. You may shy yourself to losing your business, losing your home. If you're paying a mortgage and you can't afford it, that's a setback, right? So whatever your setback is, go to your support system. Make sure you have one that will give you sound advice. They're not just there to be there for the happy times and the fun times, and then when a challenge comes, they disappear. No, you should have and a strong support system to help you, to give you one that is neutral. They're not going to be biased in their suggestions, in their help. Okay, so it's very, very important to do that. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. That's the power of a strong support system, folks. Make sure you have one. And I'm going to be wrapping up soon. I know this one has gone for a little bit too long here, but that's all right. And I hope you're learning, you're getting some good points. If I really hope Sandy is watching us today. has joined us today, I always like to say, remember your why. Why did you start this business? Why did you buy this home? Why did you get into this project? Why? Let your passion drive that motivation. Let your passion, let your why be so big that no matter what the obstacle is, the setback is, you're pushing beyond it because of your why. You're pushing beyond it because of your why. Napoleon Bonaparte said this. He said, only see, or I think he said, I see only my objective. The obstacles must give way. He said he only sees his objective. He sees the goal, the outcome. He doesn't pay attention to the obstacles. Maybe that's why he won so many wars, right? But let that passion fuel your determination to persist, to be resilient, to just stick to it and overcome that setback. Okay. Make sure you also celebrate those wins. When you have a small win, celebrate it. Pamper yourself sometimes, right? That that emotion is going to encourage you when those setbacks come. You know, I did it once, I can do it again, right? And you keep going. Okay. So we can do this, folks. Let's remember this, a setback is not the end of the journey. It's not. It's only there to make us stronger. It's the beginning of a new you, the beginning of a new chapter in your endeavor. Okay. For us to be able to for us to become overcomers, we have to overcome setbacks. There there are lessons in those setbacks. There are opportunities in those setbacks that we need to take advantage of. But I hope that the strategies, the tips, and the examples I've shared with you today will help you overcome any setbacks that you may be going through. Sandy, I don't know what yours is, but I hope you can take this to heart, develop that mindset, encourage yourself with the examples that I shared with you today. So many others did it. We did it. You can do it too. Okay. Just think of it that that lining, that silver lining is there. It's just waiting for you to discover it. So let's embrace that positive mindset. Let's embrace that growth mindset. Let's become resilient, persistent, persevere. You know, create that strong support system and go to it. Let's take some time. When there's a setback, we step back and we're going to come back with success. All right. So, folks, I think that's enough for today. I hope you've enjoyed this session. If you have any questions, please send them our way. We'll do our best to answer them. Feel free to reach out to us on our website, premierdestiny.com, or send us an email to support@premierdestiny.com, or follow us on social media. All right. Hope this has been very helpful. We look forward to seeing you again next week, Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, life is good. So make the best of it. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.